Before we dive into today's episode of the East Coast College Admissions Podcast, I want to take a moment to talk about something crucial for every student and family on the college search journey, East Coast admissions. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the college application process or unsure about how to make your application stand out, you are not alone. That's where we come in. At East Coast Admissions, we specialize in guiding students through the complexities of the East Coast College admissions, helping you every step of the way, from personalized coaching to strategic insights tailored to your goals. We are dedicated to helping you find the right fit for your future. Visit us today at www.eastcoastadmissions.com to discover our services and schedule a free consultation. You can also reach us at 888-996-7119 or email us at admissions@eastcoastadmissions.com. Don't navigate this journey alone. Let East Coast Admissions help you turn your college dreams into reality. Now let's get into today's episode. Hello, and welcome back to the East Coast College Admissions Podcast, the show where we break down the college admissions process, share strategies for success, and give students and families the clarity they need to approach this journey with confidence. I am your host, Cleopatra, and after more than a decade working across over 60 countries in education and admissions strategy, I've learned one thing for sure. The smallest details in your application can sometimes make the biggest difference. Today, we are talking about one of those details, letters of recommendation. Now, if you're a senior, your applications are probably coming together right now. Your essays, your forms, your college list, but recommendation letters, they are the hidden gem that can either quietly elevate your application or fade into the background. So in this episode, I'll unpack what colleges are really looking for in recommendations, how to choose the right people, what makes a strong letter stand out, and how to make sure your teachers have everything they need to advocate for you powerfully. Let's start with the biggest myth. Most people think recommendation letters are just formalities, something you ask for, check off, and move on. But at many selective East Coast colleges, they carry real weight. Admissions officers don't want another list of achievements. They already have your transcript, test scores, and resume. What they want is proof of your character, your curiosity, your work ethic, and your impact on others. Here is what strong letters do. They reveal your classroom personality, how you think, question, and lead. They also show your growth. Maybe you started shy and became a quiet leader, or maybe you went from struggling in math to tutoring others. Also, these strong letters bring warmth and dimension to your story. One of my favorite ways to describe this is that your essay is your voice, but your recommendation letters are the echo. They reinforce what you've already said about yourself, but from someone else's point of view. Choosing the right people, however, is half the battle. First, think about who knows you best academically, not necessarily who gave you the best grades. Sometimes the teacher who watched you struggle and grow writes a stronger letter than the one who always gave you A's. Ideally, you want one teacher from a core academic subject like English, math, science, history, or language. Another from a subject or activity that shows your personality or passion. Your school's counselor letter, which gives context about your school's environment and your role in it. What you need to do is to ask early, ideally before the end of junior year or at the very start of senior year. Remember that teachers get flooded with requests. The earlier you ask, the more thoughtful your letter will be. So now let's talk about what separates a good letter from a great one. A good recommendation says, Jessica is hardworking, responsible, and always completes her assignments on time. That's fine, but that's not memorable because that literally applies to every other student. But a great recommendation says, when Jessica joined my class, she asked questions that completely shifted how her peers thought about the material. She once stayed after class to help redesign a group project so that every student's strengths were used effectively. Her level of leadership and empathy made her a quiet anchor in the classroom. So do you see the difference? It's specific and it shows character through story. Admissions officers read thousands of these letters. Generic praise blends together, but concrete ones that are specific, real with human moments stick. So how can you help your recommenders write strong letters? Here's a secret for you. You can't write your own recommendation letter, but you can influence the quality of the ones that you receive. Here's how you can do that. Point number one, provide a brag sheet or resume. Include your extracurriculars, leadership roles, and awards. And also include a section called Moments I'm Proud of, where you list personal growth or classroom experiences. Point number two, share your goals. Let your teacher know what you're planning to study and why. This helps them tailor the letter to your academic story. Point number three, give examples. Remind them of specific class projects, papers, or moments that stood out. Teachers teach hundreds of students, so make it easy for them to remember yours. And last but not the least, be gracious. A handwritten thank you note or a thoughtful email goes a long way. Gratitude definitely matters. So what happens to those letters once they are submitted? At selective East Coast colleges, recommendations are often read aloud in committees. Admissions officers might quote key phrases or even summarize them in your file. Sometimes they tip the balance for students on the edge. Maybe your grades and test scores match another applicant's, but your teacher's recommendation letter paints you as a student who brought joy, curiosity, and initiative to every class. That's the kind of endorsement that no GPA can match. One officer once told me that the best letters make you want to teach that student, and I've never forgotten about that. So what do recommendation letters really say about you? They tell admissions officers who you are when no one is watching. They show how you show up for others, how you learn, how you lead, and how you grow. The best thing you can do as a student is to build genuine relationships with your teachers. Be engaged, be curious, and show gratitude. Because when that letter lands on admissions officers' desks, it's not just words, it's a reflection of the person you've become. Thank you for joining me for today's episode of the East Coast College Admissions Podcast. If you found this helpful, please share it with a student, parent, or educator who is in the middle of the process. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Until next time, I'm Cleopatra, wishing you clarity, confidence, and community on your admissions journey. Bye-bye.
Thanks for sticking around for another episode of the East Coast College Admissions Podcast. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you about East Coast College Admissions. If you are feeling the pressure of college admissions or want to ensure you are making the best choices for your future, we are here to help. At East Coast Admissions, our team offers personalized guidance tailored to your unique needs. From crafting standout essays to navigating financial aid, we've got you covered. Visit us at www.eastcoastadmissions.com to learn more about our services and to schedule your free consultation. Got questions? Feel free to call us at 888-996-7119 or email us at admissions@eastcoastadmissions.com. Don't leave your college future to chance. Let East Coast Admissions help you succeed. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.